This exclusive interview is brought to you by RAIRfoundation.com.
Your name is?
Pastor Henry Hildebrand.
Now, Pastor Hildebrand, I want to make sure that I'm understanding who you are properly, because this is a story that's very important to me. A few months ago, when they started to impose the lockdowns and they allowed the liquor stores to be open,
Yes, sir.
and they allowed marijuana as an essential service, but there was one church in Gatineau that had a service in the parking lot where people were parked apart and everything was done as safely as possible, and the police came and busted it anyway. Was that your church?
That was our church in Elmer, Ontario.
That's what I
Elmer,
thought.
Ontario. It's about 5 or 6 hours from here. So it was our church. I'm the pastor of that church, and we did that as you described. We did that. We continued having our church services, what we call the drive-in services, and of course they said they were illegal, and we told them that it was not, because the spirit of the law is that we were supposed to flatten the curve, right? But we were in our vehicles, our people were in our vehicles with the windows closed, and we said there's absolutely no way that you can stop telling us to stop that, and we continued that.
Were you preaching using into people's radios, or did you have a loudspeaker? How did you do it?
So I was standing on the platform, and we were using the FM system and also live streaming. But we were using the local FM station, and it worked well throughout town. We could do that.
So in other words, people were listening to the sermon in their car on the radio.
That's correct.
There wasn't even direct sound from you.
There was not even a direct sound from me. They were sitting in their car, turning their radio on, listening to the preaching with the windows closed.
And what did the police do to you, sir?
So then the police came and videotaped everybody, took their license plates down, and said this could not be done. And I said there is no reason. They said, well, you're breaking the law. I said, no, what I'm breaking is the interpretation of a local police chief. He's interpreting the law like that, but I said that's not the spirit of the law. So then, of course, it went to court, and it went up, and it reached Doug Ford, and the premier said it is allowed. He then changed the emergency law, and he said drive-in services are allowed.
But Doug Ford's Ontario, though.
Doug Ford's Ontario, and we were in Ontario. This is we're Elmer, Ontario.
Oh, Elmer, Ontario. Okay, great.
Yeah, not this Elmer here close by. We're from Elmer, Ontario.
So at that time that this happened, what date was that roughly?
That would roughly would have been early April. So I believe it was somewhere like the 19th of April, somewhere there, and where we had our services.
At that time, were the liquor stores open?
Liquor store was open, abortion clinics open, grocery stores open, everything else open, with their parking lots not really safe according to their own interpretation. Our parking lot at that point was the safest parking lot in town.
Happened.
It's extremely important because it's God-given freedoms, not rights. God-given freedoms.
Inalienable rights.
Pardon?
Inalienable rights.
That's right.
Given by the Creator.
That's right.
Not to be removed by
That's
man.
Right. The very first thing on the charter, the very first thing says, whereas Canada is founded upon principles that recognize the supremacy of God. That's the very first thing on the charter. And supremacy means God is supreme in authority, power, and status. So that's who our God is, and we have to stand for our God-given freedom.
On behalf of RAIR Foundation, this is Vlad. I want to thank you so much for everything you do.
Thank you very much.